The Autodesk Industry Collections provides access to multiple Autodesk products and entitlements and offers greater value and flexibility with simpler ways to subscribe to and manage your Autodesk software. So in contrast to the 20-plus Autodesk Design and Creation Suites, there are only 3 Autodesk Industry Collections, and they are the AEC Collection, the Media and Entertainment Collection, and the Product Design Collection. This slide here represents the Autodesk products and cloud services currently associated within these 3 Autodesk Industry Collections. So for added clarity, at the bottom of the slide, you're going to see the Autodesk suites whose product portfolio are included within these 3 Autodesk Industry Collections. You might notice that some individual products are not available within any of these Autodesk Industry Collections, but they can be subscribed to separately. So a lot of folks want to know how you go from what you have now to an Autodesk Industry Collection. So here are the options that are available right now. If you purchase an annual or a multi-year term subscription for an Autodesk Design and Creation Suite or an Autodesk individual product, so this is subscriptions of these, you have the option to switch to an Autodesk Industry Collection for free or at a fee 90 days after your initial purchase. And this is not a promotion. There is no end date established by Autodesk for this, so this is an ongoing thing. So if you have a premium or an ultimate suite subscription, you are able to switch to a collection at no additional cost for the remainder of your current subscription term. All other products that qualify, you will pay the approximate price difference between the 2 subscriptions, prorated for the time remaining in the subscription term. Now, if you have a monthly or quarterly term subscription for an Autodesk suite or Autodesk individual product, there's no option to switch at this time because it's just such a short term. So you can just subscribe to an Autodesk Industry Collection either in addition to what you have, or you can wait until your short term of monthly or quarterly expires and then subscribe at that time. Customers with Autodesk perpetual licenses with an active maintenance plan. So this is new, guys. So if you have an Autodesk perpetual license that's being maintained on a maintenance plan, you now will have the option to switch during your renewal time. And finally, the Autodesk perpetual licenses without an active Autodesk maintenance plan. Right now, through end of day tomorrow, you have the option to trade up to a subscription of an Autodesk Industry Collection. But this is only until tomorrow, end of day. Autodesk does have this promotion from time to time, but they do take it away as well. So if you are interested or you just want to know if you qualify, if your license, your old license qualifies, just reach out to us and we can go through that with you and let you know your options. How you get an Autodesk Industry Collection is just the same way you would get any Autodesk subscription offering. You start by selecting your product, whether you want an Autodesk Industry Collection or if you happen to want a single point product, and then you select your access type, whether you prefer the single user, which is the individual, or the multi-user, which is the shared access type, and then you move into your term length. You decide whether you would like a term length as short as monthly or quarterly, or if you would like to go with the annual or the multi-year term. So I should mention, when it comes to the access type, multi-user access, which was previously referred to as network deployment, is only available starting at annual and or multi-year term lengths. So if you want that flexibility of a multi-user license, it starts with an annual or a multi-year term. No options for monthly or quarterly terms. And I want to mention that if you're wondering if an Autodesk Industry Collection is a good fit for commercial customers that are in the AEC, manufacturing, and media and entertainment industry who currently use Autodesk Design and Creation Suites, it's a great fit. It's a natural transition going from a Autodesk Design and Creation Suite to an Autodesk Industry Collection. And if you want the option to use multiple Autodesk products and services, the value that's in an Autodesk Industry Collection and the price point, you can't beat it. So if you also value the flexibility that monthly, quarterly, annual, or multi-year terms provide, this product is a good fit for that. And if you like the flexibility, use specific software for project-related work to scale up or down as your business needs dictate, or to receive a locked-in rate for several years when opting to subscribe to a multi-year term, this fits the bill. So if you are interested in purchasing an Autodesk Industry Collection or learning more, just consider what your needs are here, and you can dictate whether you should be getting a single user or multi-user access of this Autodesk Industry Collection. And we're happy to help you consider your options. Don't hesitate to reach out to us to help you with that. And before I pass it on to Roger, I just want to remind you that, as I mentioned, Autodesk is now allowing perpetual licenses on active maintenance plans to switch to an Autodesk Industry Collection during their renewal time. And my superior, the president of Microsol Resources, is going to be presenting on June 15th about Autodesk's move to a subscription business model. I do implore everyone who has Autodesk software to register and attend this event by visiting microsolresources.com/events. And with that, I want to thank you for your time this morning with me, and I am going to send this off to my colleague, Roger, who's going to take it over from here. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them into the dialogue box. We'll be monitoring that during the presentation. Thank you, everyone. Roger?
Good morning. Thank you, Ro. What a great job. Rowena really knows her stuff, and I think if anybody has any questions, always reach out to Ro, or in my case, support at microsolresources.com. So, as Rowena mentioned, I'll be talking about the technical aspects of the individual software for each of these collection products. Obviously, when we get started and we start looking at the details of each individual collection, you'll realize that it's quite simpler and it's easier to deal with, much clearer. It's the way to go, and it's going to give benefits to a lot of individuals in your firm, and I'll explain the breakdowns. So, for instance, for the executives, making decisions, purchasing the products, this is going to be a lot easier for them as well, driving better outcomes. So what we're doing is we're giving you the opportunity to take advantage of the cost savings, to stay ahead of changing in your business needs, and giving you the opportunity to work with Autodesk software specific for your industry. There are a lot of products available for these collections, and this will give us an opportunity to manage the costs, to reduce the operational costs by procuring individual collections rather than trying to decide on which individual products the group needs. You'll be able to give them the tools that they need, and they can choose which one they use at any time. So let's talk about the differences between the suites for the person making the choices, or deciding to design a budget. You'll see that the suites give you an opportunity for 20 plus individual suites. It's a little bit confusing to decide which one you want. Now we have 3. Having the opportunity to retire applications gives us the the comparison between dynamically adding or removing, and giving opportunities to allow individual users access to new applications that they didn't have before. In the past, we were able to download an entire building design suite. I didn't think it was a benefit because we're talking about gigabytes worth of data for an individual who only needs 1 or 2 products. Now we can go and give the individual user access to these installers and the products that have been allocated. So an individual user will be allocated a license, and through the desktop app or manage.autodesk.com, they'll be able to go through and find the product that they need at the moment. So for instance, if I switch over to the Autodesk desktop app, this is a product, an individual application that will run and install when you install one of the products or one of the collections. And you could see that I'm being told what applications are available for me, right? These are all of my products. These are the ones that are ready to install, or I could look through it alphabetically and see which products are available. You could see that AutoCAD 2018 has already been installed on my machine, so I could literally launch it from this location. I have access to the Autodesk cloud services, the mobile app, as well as AutoCAD 360. You'll see that I can access those cloud benefits. 2017 LT, if I wanted to, I can install that as well. So this is going to be exposed directly to the user. That'll give individuals access, and the executives will say, oh, it's a lot easier for me to say, hey, here's the products team, you decide which one you want. The benefits for the IT manager. That means that they'll be able to standardize the collection and streamline the ability to make these things available for everybody, right? Optimizing the speed that these kind of products can be made available to the teams. These individual users will be the managers of the Autodesk account as well. So whether it's a contract manager or a software coordinator, that's going to give them the opportunity to make the products available easier. You could see that you have different access, whether it's a network access or a single user access. Now they're called multi-user access, and individual where the network license manager is still offering up the licenses, but this will give them the opportunity to manage that network license and have a better understanding of what's available for everybody. You'll see that when the contract manager says, I want to give a product to somebody, they also have to now consider what cloud benefits and cloud resources. In the past, we used to just be able to assign an individual user, and that user would have their allocated cloud units. Now we can actually assign 3 users to appropriate cloud benefits for each one of those licenses, so that if you have 3 renderers in the office, you give them access to an industry collection cloud credits, and 3 users can appropriately use those cloud credits. There's one serial number for the entire collection, and then one would understand the product key for the individual product. So it's easier to allocate that license and tell people, oh, well, here's our collection serial number. Now you only have to figure out which product you want. And if you ever have any questions about which product key one would need, just go to our website, and we have a new blog where the product keys are listed for the 2018 products, the 2017 products. And we've been doing this for all of the individual releases. Let me show you what the Autodesk account looks like. So here's the Autodesk account. I'm logged in. I happen to be a software coordinator, so I have access to all of the individual products that are available to me. So I could see the IT team or the BIM managers being allocated this ability to say, oh, here's a product that's available. I'll go and I'll find a particular user. That user will be able to say, okay, Joe needs a license. I'll allocate Joe a license. And not only give them the opportunity to get access to that license, but also give them the opportunity to download and install these updates. So for instance, Dolly can download the products if I give her access. Arun, for instance, when I go and edit access, I could see that I can decide to assign all of the individual products and give them opportunities to install the updates as well. Now that's a kind of a questionable opportunity. Do I want to give access to all of the individual users to update and install the products as well as service packs and update releases? That would be kind of useful, but it also could be difficult because an individual might go and update Revit when the rest of the team is collaborating with a project and they're not on the same update release or version. It's important for everybody to communicate when the update is going to be installed. That being said, the benefits for IT managers regarding licensing has gotten complicated, but it is still pretty clear, and we're aware of all of the individual concerns or ways to make it easier for everybody. So when individuals have the product installed, maybe they have a couple of suites that are still on contract and a couple of industry collections as well as some standalone products. We have to make sure that the team is aware of how will a user gain access to a product, and what does that mean when they want to pull a license. I could continue to talk about this topic, but We have just recently created a beautiful blog article that talks about this in detail. So please visit our blog, blog.microsolresources.com, and you'll see articles related to license management as well as collections. So understanding how installation changes, right? There's individual products available rather than an individual single suite. So one can download and install only the products they need. The desktop app, as I mentioned, is going to be really useful. And then we get into some complicated manners about how the licenses are going to cascade, meaning what happens when I open one product versus another product, or what happens when I open up two versions of the same product. So in that case, it has improved, and it's more useful because different projects will stay on a version, where new projects will move to the new version. So any questions regarding cascading licensing, any questions regarding the differences between the suites and collections, please visit our website and our blog for more information. So getting into details about the specific architectural engineering construction collection, let's take a look. You have access to all of the tools. You can now connect your workflows because there's going to be an opportunity to go from like Revit to Max, for instance, for visualization. Having all of those tools and the licenses available to your team are going to give you the opportunity to improve that collaboration workflow. I'll get into specifically the Max workflow later on when we talk about the media and entertainment collection. So when we're talking about AEC, most commonly we're talking about architectural engineering. But construction and infrastructure are also part of this collection. So the list of tools that are available give you the opportunity to have all the tools at the right time, to reduce risk and rework by putting your project in the center and being able to go and communicate between products and between teams. This stuff is going to be improved upon and updated on a regular basis. So right now, this is the collection of products that are available with the AEC collection. Notice the enormous amount of cloud services that are available as well. So in addition to the apps, but you also have the cloud services. So individuals like the InfraWorks or the Format or Recap, sure, they're desktop products, but they also have integrated cloud services as well. I should make one note that in comparison to the suite, the AEC collection doesn't include Inventor. So that product could be purchased separately, or perhaps a product design collection might be useful for that individual team if they're using Inventor. So let's talk about some more of the really cool tools that are in the AEC collection. For instance, the Format 360 or the Insight, right? This is going to give teams available to do not only their design but analysis as well. So we're going to be able to understand how the collection is going to give you tools to understand operational cost and to do energy analysis and lighting and shading analysis. So let's take a quick look at Format 360. So you can see that you can have it on your desktop, you can have it on your tablet, you can have it on your smartphone, and you're going to be able to communicate back and forth between Revit and Format. So when we're in these browser versions of the application, we're having access to tools that you might have started in Revit, or you might want to bring some of these elements back into Revit. And that's one of the cool tools, the cool ways that you can use this modeling application. So I see people doing this on the train in their tablet. They're sketching out ideas and pushing and pulling, and then that information can be brought right into Revit for further analysis. And here you are, where we're using a form that was created in the Format app, and now we're actually panelizing it and taking it into construction documentation or further. So you see that you can use these tools anywhere you want. You have access to these tools, you have access to all of the materials and the libraries, and then you could push it out to the cloud from anywhere and do further analysis. So here's some of the reporting tools that are available, where it looks like a Google Nest kind of energy analysis tool. So when you're looking at Format 360, you have, your ability to import SketchUp, and that was kind of a big deal because, a lot of people are using SketchUp, for better or worse, but it's an intuitive tool, and now we can bring that information in, bring it and improve upon it, and still be able to connect it to, the most powerful BIM tools on your desktop. If you look at the Pro version, you'll see that you have further energy analysis and solar analysis, and be able to apply those things and visualize in real time. The idea of having Autodesk materials doesn't seem like a big deal, but you see that throughout the application, throughout all of the products that I've shown you in the industry collection, you'll have the same material library. So AutoCAD uses it, Revit uses it, Format uses it, 3D Studio Max and Maya use it. Now it also is available in the cloud, which is pretty wild. So you're not going to have an indication when you're moving and designing wherever you are and not having the materials accessible. You'll see further as people start getting into environmental concerns and energy analysis, tools like Insight 360 are going to be more and more useful and powerful to you. People have used Green Building Studio in the past. Insight is taking that to the next level. Everything that we've learned from our energy analysis tools in Green Building Studio now have been applied to Insight 360. Whether it be Revit or Format, you're going to be able to leverage the infinite computing power in the cloud. And I know that everybody has tried the cloud rendering. So I just wanted to make a point that, you're going to have abilities to send more models to the cloud and render them in faster and quicker results. So when we're doing things locally, we only are dealing with the processing power that we have on our workstation. When we send it to the cloud, it's practically infinite computing power, meaning that I have a few processors on my desktop. When I send it to the cloud, I'm using hundreds of processors. And you'll be really surprised with the results and how quick this can be done and how inexpensive. We're talking a cloud credit is $1. Now you get a whole series of cloud credits, and those can be managed in manage.autodesk.com. So your IT team or your BIM manager team understand how many credits are available and who has allocation to it. Don't be jealous by the number of cloud credits I have. I'm a reseller. So besides using the built-in rendering engines that come with Autodesk, you also have abilities to do solar studies, panoramic renderings. Panoramic renderings are giving you the ability to render a camera all views all around, so you're panning and zooming in real time, and those can be shared very easily once it's rendered in the cloud. Now, of course, your cloud resources don't end just with architectural tools. They also are available for structural and MEP. When we're talking about structure, you're talking about the ability to do analysis, static analysis, or load takedowns, right? The ability to model in Revit, analyze in the cloud, and share that information with all your team members. I'm seeing more and more architectural clients doing the basic structural analysis right there in Revit and sending it to A360 for processing. It's going to give everybody in the team a better idea of what's going to happen, whether it be mechanical loads or environmental loads or wind loads. You're going to be able to do this work quicker and faster. When we're in Revit, we're applying these basic loads and structural members, and then we're analyzing it elsewhere, right? And you get some pretty cool presentation quality, visualization. Notice I'm right here in the Revit application. So as you already know, that Revit is architecture, structural, and systems, and all of the analysis tools, whether you're an architect or a structural engineer, they're accessible to you. I have to talk about BIM 360 Team because it's something that I think about all the time, where a lot of our clients are taking this collaboration effort and making it easier to work all across the world. BIM 360 Team, as Rowena mentioned, is something that we're offering to our clients when they upgrade to the collections. So you'll get a taste of BIM 360 Team for free. And you'll see that they're really taking cloud storage to the next level, giving us the ability to take our projects, collaborate with anybody all across the world, being able to share that information and have it centralized. And that's one of the biggest reasons to, to consider the cloud or to understand what the cloud is that this centralized project information is really the best way for all the team members to stay informed. And when you tune in later on for our What's New webinars coming up, I'll do a comparison between BIM 360 Glue and Navisworks, for instance, giving us the ability to centralize again. So it's going to give us the opportunity to accelerate design and decision-making right there because everybody is looking at the most recent version. Now to move on to the entertainment, media and entertainment collection. You'll see that you have access to the standard 3D animation tools, but also, the AAA game members and top Hollywood studios are using these tools, right, end to end, whether it's entry conceptualization to full-on photorealistic presentation and animation. The benefits of moving to the collection really give you more tools, right? So not only are you getting Max, but you're also getting Maya as well. Motion Builder, Mudbox, Recap 360, these are all tools that have now been part of the entertainment collection because more and more designers and visualization teams need this kind of tools and access to the cloud services. 25 gigs of storage, photo to 3D, and if you're not familiar with that, giving us photogrammetry tools. Take a bunch of photos, convert that to an actual 3D object. And being part of the 3D printing team, tools like that are just getting more and more accessible and easy to use. Of course you have rendering in 860. Of course you have character generator. Those kind of tools have always been available for Macs, but now we're also going to get Recap 360, which gives you the opportunity to visualize the reality capture information, whether it be photogrammetry or point clouds or laser scanning. You got to take a look at Recap. Now for the product design. And more we've been getting into product design or understanding our clients because of the 3D printing side. You'll see that you have, again, the right tools, connecting your workflow, preparing for the future, giving your team more tools to enhance their workflow. Let's take a look. Here's the product that actually has Inventor Professional built in. Because we have 3 collections, they decided to put Inventor in the product design, and that makes sense because we can literally build, like this wind turbine design and test it with strengths and loads and stress analysis right there in Inventor. I mean, you're building workable, testable engines in Inventor. But you also have AutoCAD architecture, mechanical, electrical, Navisworks, because these complicated products and systems like, how it's, like you see on how it's made, you need something like Navis to bring it all together and to, to look further for interference or clash. Okay? You also have Vault, because a lot of the product design firms that we're working with, the individual product is really an assembly of products. So you have an enormous amount of information on your server, who's working on what piece. So Vault is going to give you the ability to manage versioning and check out pieces of this overall product assembly. So in case you didn't know, we have 3D printers available for sale. We have 3D printing services because I have access to all of 3D Systems printers. I have a couple of printers in our office, and you're welcome to come down and take a look at our samples and our printers that we have available. Bring your design to life is essentially the key phrase, the catchphrase. So again, just to summarize, why are we doing this, or why is Autodesk doing this? Because it's going to give you, more for your money. It's going to give you the opportunity to evolve quickly, because as these clouds, as these products and cloud services improve, those updates are going to evolve, and they're going to be available a lot easier. It's going to be much easier to stay on top of these new product improvements and services. So you'll get more services. You'll get more ability to have your users access more of this information. You're going to have more flexibility and choice, and it's much more simplified. It's clearer. So if you have any information, or require any further information, visit our website, talk to our team, and don't hesitate to reach out to microsolresources.com.